What is up, beautiful people of the internet? I go by the name of Wesley. Today we are reacting to Athlete Peer Pressure's Nerd to Drink by Dhar Mann. Now, this sounds so much like something that somebody's written that's never really been to a college or a high school or whatever age group this is supposed to be party. And they're like, oh yeah, everything I know about American party and drinking culture, I personally got from movies that were made in the 1980s and from bad television shows from the 90s. So I'm incredibly curious. I also feel like this title is a little aggressive. I mean, whoever titled the video might be the real bully here because they're the one who goes, nerd. You're just putting them in a bucket. You're like, this nerd at this party?
It's crazy.
But let's see how it goes.
It was Tiffany and Michelle.
So, no, be cool.
Yeah, talk to him. You got this, bro.
Hey, girls.
Hey, girls.
Do you girls want to come hang out?
Nice glasses, dork. I'm not interested. Bye.
I know that we're supposed to be like, wow, those girls were so mean. But I feel kind of bad because at the same time, I'm like, you walked up and you went, hey, girls. Hey, girls. Like, that was the line you went with. You didn't go, hey, what's up? Like, hi. You were just, hey, girls. I don't insert any woman here. I'm not really interested in you as a person or getting to know you. You're just women, and I wanted to talk to you because you're girls. So, hey, girls. Like, yeah, they were mean, but I feel like if you go up to someone, you're like, hey, girls, and they're mean to you, you're kind of asking for it.
Girls ever want to talk to me. It's like the whole school thinks we're nerds.
There's nothing wrong with being a nerd.
It's true.
Scholarship to one of the best colleges in the country.
See, that's awesome. I applaud you.
There goes Bryce and Matthew. They're like the coolest kids in school.
Dude,
I'm glad you told me that with exposition.
Do anything to be as cool as them.
Hey, you mind getting us some beers? Yeah, you. Beers.
Yeah, sure. Here you go.
I like he didn't want to move the requisite. I mean, the beers were in the sink, which, by the way, unrealistic. They didn't even put ice in the sink. Why are the beers just randomly in the sink? They're in a kitchen. There's a perfectly good refrigerator. Literally, the girls are leaning up against the refrigerator. Did someone just bring the beers in since the girls started leaning against the fridge? And these girls are so intimidating and mean that they were like, hey, girls, can you move so I can put the beers in the fridge? And they were like, no, dork. And so they were like, okay, I guess I'll put them in the sink. Again, this is why I'm like, I feel that whoever wrote this sketch has never been to a house party because you don't just randomly put beers in a sink. You put ice in the sink and put beers in it, but that's only if there's no more room in the fridge. Also, the athlete was like an arm's reach from the beers. Look, he literally picks them up, turns and gives them to him. That's just like a next level of jerkiness, man.
Here you go.
Yo, wait a second. Wait, where are your beers at?
See, that's
Nerds
friendly.
not drink.
If anything, that would have been friendly. He's like, oh, wait a second. We were actually went like, hey, do you want to get beers? Like, we're going to get drinks as friends, right? This is weird. He's like, where's your beer at? Why is that so aggressive? I guess I don't understand. It's like, oh, we're going to have drinks together? Okay, that's a friendly thing. Don't say it so aggressively. That's not something people would say, especially when you just were like, get a beer, bro.
We're just not old enough. So,
I was actually about to grab one. Yeah.
what are you doing?
Who bought the beer?
I'm peer pressuring you into drinking?
They think I'm a nerd. This is like my one chance of being cool.
Dude, who cares what they think?
Fair.
My
True.
mom always says that the nerds in high school grow up to be cool as adults.
Not
So
true
we be
necessarily.
successful.
That's something that's not necessarily true, by the way. You don't gradually or magically get social competency when you get older. Just saying. I think that that's a really bad myth because it's very often true that people who are very good in school can go on to get incredibly good careers and then eventually they do and are in a much more advantageous or admirable or respectable position in life than bullies, right? But at the same time, if somebody has poor social skills in school, even if they're a good achiever academically, that's not going to magically make them incredibly cool and successful as they get older because a lot of performing in an actual 9-to-5 job is social skills. It's not just down to just how good you are at at school or at even logic or even at test taking or how smart you are. A lot of it is how you interact with people, how you can solve problems with clients, work with teams, all things which involve social skills. And I feel like telling people like, no, if you're a nerd, you'll be cool and you'll win in the end and be successful. It's like, yeah, you might be successful, you might make money and stuff, but unless you actually take steps to, develop social skills and maybe take steps and do things that develop your confidence as a person, it's not just going to magically happen. And this also, by the way, why is this narrative, again, it's written like it's from the freaking 1980s. I don't know about you guys, like I'm almost 30, and at my high school, the cool kids were all really good at school. Like everybody thought that they were awesome. I feel like this is just 4 or 5 generations out of touch. Like, oh, the nerds. And now I'm like, no, at my school, and this was a while ago, and I can only imagine it's probably moved further in this direction. People looked up to the highest academic performers, and if you were bad at school, if anything, people were meaner to the kids that were bad at school, and we were like, what the hell's wrong with you? Why aren't you taking this seriously? This is important.
Your mom says? Yeah. You sound like such a dork, Nelson.
To be fair, I feel like that's kind of true. I'm sorry, Nelson. I'm sorry.
Cheers.
They're kind of including him. Also, I love how he's like, he had a drink, he's gone to the dark side.
I think you should stop drinking, man.
Do either of you have a light?
Yes, I do. Here you go.
Okay. Sorry, we don't smoke.
Okay, bro, that was hilarious.
Why are we asking the nerds?
Uh-oh.
Hey, Calvin, cheers, man. What's up?
I know this is supposed to be like bullying. They're being relatively nice to him. Also, they said Calvin. I thought the other guy's name was Calvin.
Hey, Cal, you want a hit?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
No one says you want to hit with cigarettes.
Oh, buddy. Okay, guys. Enough of this weed stuff. Anyone really want a party?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
This is like if a middle schooler drew what they think drugs look like. Like, look at this satchel that they pulled up right here. This looks like the vitamins that I took when I was a kid. They might as well throw a Flintstone gummy in here. I feel like these types of sketches, if anything, I think it's kind of destructive to paint things in this incredibly black and white manner. Like, oh, there are going to be these bad, cool people, and there are going to be these good, nerdy people, and they're going to peer pressure you super directly, and you should just say no, and there's no, there's no nuance to it. Like, hey, maybe having a sip or two or a beer is okay, but maybe you shouldn't get hammered and then make bad decisions. No, you were wrong for even taking the sip. Or, hey, I know that this whole video and this whole channel is weirdly about, like, pushing a specific social narrative, or you're supposed to, like, get a lesson out of it. It's supposed to be almost like a fable or a fairy tale where you come away and you're like, oh, that's the lesson, shouldn't do that. I'm like, dude, but this, if it's not at all a realistic approximation of what actual real life is like, then it's stupid. Because if anything, I think the most times that I've seen people get peer pressured into drinking, it was their friends. It's not like some bully who's like aggressively like, you need to drink. It's like their friends, someone they legitimately like, and who usually does legitimately like and even love and care about them, just isn't making the best decisions for them, and they want to drink with them. And that's a much more dangerous phenomenon, and something that you need to caution people and have them on guard with, and be like, hey, drinking and partying with your friends can be really fun, but you have to do it responsibly, instead of painting this weird picture. I just don't think such an inaccurate take on it is going to actually do anybody any favors, because they're going to go into situations like this with completely messed up expectations.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
They didn't even ask what the drugs were.
You, one for you.
What are these highlighter ass drugs?
One for you. Wait, hold on. You in?
Take the red pill or the blue pill, Neo.
He's not gonna take one.
He's cool. Watch. Come on, man, take it.
See, that's more realistic.
Be cool.
I feel like that's more realistic. But these bully characters keep flipping between like the crazy hardy friends that are bad influences and straight up bullies. Also, his hair is phenomenal. His hair is beautiful. Can we talk about that? Look at his hair.
Yeah.
Wait, can you give us one
Also, he's way too, like, this actor, it's really funny because he's playing a nerd, but he's actually, I mean, he's a good-looking ass guy, and look at his haircut. You can tell he is in no way, shape, form a nerd, and you can tell he also is way too comfortable with a cigarette. He's like, oh yeah, first time smoking. Didn't cough. Just like putting it behind the ear while he does all kinds of crazy things. Yep. I mean, if you guys have ever been around smokers, he moves like someone who smokes. So it's just funny to me.
Can you give us 1 second, please?
Nerd.
Nerd.
What?
Dude, what are you doing, man? Stop letting these guys peer pressure you to do these bad decisions.
This is my one shot to finally be cool.
If you guys were wondering what the lesson was,
Dude,
I'm glad they're really
drinking
just
is not
like...
cool. Smoking is not cool. Drugs is not cool. All right, 10 years from now, these guys are gonna wish that they were us, not the other way around. Like, just watch.
Hey, are you coming?
Just 1 second. Yo, come on, man. I thought you were cool. We're waiting for you.
Yeah, Cal.
It's seriously, I feel like somebody just took the really crappy PSAs for the 90s and literally just made them again and put them on YouTube, except somehow they made them even more ham-fisted. And they're like, hey, this is the theme, by the way, and beat you over the head with it, even though it's not really even that good of a lesson and it's not nuanced and it's really unrealistic. Like, hey, man, they might not wish that they're you in 10 years. Maybe. I know that's a story that people like to tell themselves in order to cope with the situation they're not exactly happy with now. But hey, that might not be the case, man.
Hey, look, please just listen, okay? Like, these guys are bad news. Think
They even
about our
have varsity
scholarship,
jackets.
Our college. We're gonna go to college together, man. Calvin.
I'm sorry, man. I gotta go.
He throws his glasses. He's like, hey, you know what? I was just wearing these for aesthetics anyways. Like, what? You know what? Yeah, if I'm going to be doing this many drugs anyways, I've drank so much that I can't see straight. So, like, I don't need vision. And he just tosses them. What? What?
Nelson is so disappointed watching Calvin give in to
Thanks
peer
for breaking
pressure.
it down.
He decides to leave the party.
Why were you guys at... Okay, question. Why were you all at the party? Why'd you go to the party?
Calvin stays at the party and continues to give in to peer pressure. Everyone tells him to chug more beers and get more messed up. Before long, the
cops.
police show up.
Oh no. Oh, they gave him a
Calvin
stash?
gets
He's
stuck with the drugs and
He's
the
the patsy?
police arrest him.
Wait, he just had more of these satchels? He had more of these satchels of kids' multivitamins laying around? That's not good. Everyone knows that Flintstone gummies are a controlled substance. How'd you get stuck with those, man? This is so extreme.
As he sits there
He's
in
got a
jail,
full goatee.
he gets handed a letter from his university.
This is how things come in the mail. This is like if a 5-year-old wrote a skit after they like watched a PSA on Don't Drink. The drugs. This is a letter. Like, oh yeah, the letter to Calvin. That's a note you would pass to like somebody in class. What are you talking about? How did that ever make it through the postal system? This is ridiculous.
University. They find out about his drug charges and revoke his college
Well, that's
scholarship and
fairly
admission.
realistic. That part's
Calvin's
fairly...
life
What the
starts-
hell? Why did they go to such trouble to make this part look realistic? Like, the body of this letter actually looks pretty damn... They did a good job on it. Why did they take the time to type all of this up? They even put a damn signature in it. And the letter in the jail cell is just like his name. It looks like a placard or a name card. Are you kidding me?
Calvin's life starts to go downhill,
Whoa.
while Nelson's life starts to go uphill. He ends up attending college and stays focused on
Because no
his
one drinks in
future.
college, right? No one. Nelson doesn't
A
drink
few
in college.
years later, Nelson graduates with honors.
He still doesn't
His
drink.
parents couldn't be any more proud of him.
They look so proud, though, to be fair.
Nelson goes on and starts his own business and ends up becoming really successful.
I swear, the 5-year-old wrote this. It's so vague. It's like, yeah, Nelson, he makes big business moves. Big business talks, big business money. Successful. Yeah, and the guy who drank once at a party, not successful. Nelson, who went to college where most people, like per capita, consume the most alcohol in a 4-year span of their entire life, in a 4-year span. He doesn't drink ever. He just studies real hard the whole time. Doesn't do anything. No fun. It's just focused. Then money, success. Yes.
And then one day, Nelson happens to run into Calvin.
All right, I say we go back to my spot and hang out there. Oh man, check out that car. That's sweet.
Yeah, because like it's just one step from having a beer at a high school party to literally. I like how they kind of tried to make them all look rough here, but they look pretty fine. But they have them having like, oh man, you're down on your luck. You've got a paper bag around some booze walking every day. Like, kids, first sip of beer, next step is this. I just feel like the fact that you're saying that lesson, it's setting kids up because this isn't true. Spoiler alert. If you have a sip of alcohol, you're not going to magically, like, end up roughing it. And this isn't really even roughing it, but, like, day drinking and smoking and not doing anything in life. And so then if you are actually teaching these lessons to kids, when they see people or they themselves have a sip of alcohol, which is a pretty normal experience to happen to somebody in either like late high school or college or even after college, it probably happened eventually. And then the person doesn't immediately become a wreck and their life fall apart. They're going to get really confused and think, okay, well, what else were people lying about? Should I start popping pills and powders? And the answer is no, you shouldn't, because that stuff's really bad and addictive. But I don't understand the lesson here or how it's supposed to do anything practically. This is just ridiculous.
Nelson?
Also, Nelson is looking pretty
Nelson?
fly, not gonna lie. And he has a Tesla. Tesla's
Nelson?
a cool car.
Calvin? I haven't seen you since...
Wait, aren't you that nerd from high school?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh my gosh. And you drive this car now?
Wait, that's how
do
money
you even
works?
get something like this?
I like how they're like, oh man, you know that alcohol? All the alcohols. He drank so many alcohols. It fried his brain. He doesn't understand how fiat currency works anymore. And he was going to college. He had a scholarship. He was going to get a job. Like, that's just stupid. This is ridiculous.
Well, I mean, I graduated college and I started my own business, and I guess it's going pretty well. How about you guys? What have you been up to?
Nothing much, really. Kind of been in the same spot from when you left.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, do you want to hang out?
Nah, he doesn't want to hang out with
Yeah,
you.
we'd love to go for a drive. Hey, babe.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Good. Sorry, I would love to, but I can't.
It's so shallow. They're like trying to make this lesson. They're like, actually, the nerd. He's got a hot girlfriend now, so hot girl right here. Her only role is being a hot girl. This has the character development of like a 7-second Vine. So it's like, ha, showed you guys, he's got hot girl. It's just awful.
Shall
Whoa,
we?
he's got hot girl? I shouldn't have had an alcohol.
That was really good seeing you guys again.
You too.
And Tesla's got
Wow,
auto drive.
man.
Haha.
It's got to be the coolest guy I've ever seen in my life. I guess it's true. The nerds in high school are the ones that become cool as adults.
That's the lesson. Please.
Hey Dhar Mann fam, make sure to subscribe to my channels and check out this next video. I know you're gonna love it.
I'm sorry, dude. That one just like, I feel that melted my brain to a substantial degree, which is not good because I don't have brain cells. I don't have brain cells I can donate to this, but I love how they just smash you over the head with it one more time in case you didn't put it together. Oh, I guess the nerds in high school are the ones who come cool as adults. Don't get me wrong. I mean, shocker, guys. I'm going to lay something out really shocking for you. The people who work towards goals tend to be the ones who accomplish goals. So if you have people in whatever aspect of their lives who are either working towards academic success or working towards getting into a specific college or getting a specific degree in a specific college or towards a specific goal in a specific career path, or shocker, somebody who's dedicating themselves and specifically trying to achieve in athletics. Shocker, I know. Whoa. I'm saying athletes can be successful and they're not just shallow 2D caricatures of bullies. Yeah, I know, right? Whoa. Crazy. The kids who are the best at goal setting and going after and accomplishing their goals are the kids who usually end up the most successful. And that's true for people. That's just true in general. And I don't understand why there's this weird resentment towards kids who do sports. Sports, especially if you're going to do it at a truly high level, is incredibly difficult, and it's incredibly hard to dedicate yourself and show the discipline in order to do that. And to be honest, at least in my school, most kids were athletes, at least at some level. Maybe they weren't varsity, but they were maybe frosh off or JV or something, right? And there was literally like AP classes filled with athletes, so I don't know. I feel like this dude, I question, I'm like, who are you around? Who are you talking to? Have you ever talked to high-level athletes? I mean, if these guys were on the team, they probably weren't that good, given their behavior, right? I don't understand. That being said, guys, I'm like fired up, because I just feel like this was really stupid and actually taught a few different really terrible lessons. Like, if you're an athlete watching this in high school and you're like, oh, I guess I'm just a scumbag who's an awful person and is going to be walking around at, what, like 10 o'clock in the morning with, I don't know, 10 o'clock in the morning with paper bag around some malt liquor or something. Also, why were they fully glammed up at 10 o'clock on what's implied to be a normal day? Also, I love how they tried to make these guys look rough. They don't even look that rough. They just look like your average college kid walking around to classes on like a Tuesday. But whatever. That had, I don't know, bro. That was so bad. That was somehow managed to be worse and less nuanced than a 90s PSA for 5-year-olds. But whatever. That being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Wesley. I thought this would be kind of funny. I got pissed off, but I will see you guys next time. Subscribe for more reactions. Later!